There's something wonderfully unapologetic about these 1960s European adventure films. They're huge landscapes, hidden treasures, ancient mysteries, heroes wandering through severe danger, and villains who look like they walked straight out of a pulp novel. And Treasure of the Aztecs absolutely leans into that yet again. It feels like a traditional Western, and also like a serialised adventure film as well. It's full of lost civilizations, conspiracies, ambushes, larger-than-life characters, and a little bit of politics mixed in as well. So let's talk about the Treasure of the Aztecs, the penultimate film in the Adventure Calls set.
Das ist der heilige Schatz der Azteken. Gejagt und begehrt von Desperados und Abenteurern und auch von den feindlichen Beherrschern unseres Landes.
Here we have a change from the previous films. We have our characters in a more civilised world. It feels there are people in America talking to people who's wanting our hero to travel down there and help out some situation. Of course, there's going to be Aztec gold in amongst all this, political shenanigans, and a very familiar formula that really raises its head once again, because we have different characters here, but we have the same actors back again. We have Lex Barker as Dr. Karl Sternau, a different kind of man than the previous two adventures we've had, or particularly from the last one, or the last three films, should I say. He's a wee bit more of a academic. But he still has an adventurous side, and when he's sent down to Mexico during political unrest, he gets caught up in an adventure.
In die Kutsche! Rasch! Los, abfahren!
And then he gets a side character. The same character who was in, or the same actor who was in the previous three films comes again. So I feel like we're really playing on the formula here. We're bringing back the actors. They are in very similar character mode, but with different character names. And with that brings its own baggage as well. It doesn't feel unique or individual. It feels like it's relying on this similar kind of formula that we've had before. I do like the idea of the Aztec gold. I do like the fact that we have warring factions. We have the French who've kind of taken over and are looking to get revenge on various people as well. But it gets a little bit muddy. It gets a little bit muddled with the storyline and with who is fighting against who and who some of the characters are. And some of them, particularly the villains, are always undercooked in these films. They have that kind of moustache twirling evilness about them, but very little else going on.
Sie verweigern mir den Gehorsam.
This film does have a lot of adventure though. It's got shootouts and escapes, and it's got horseback chases and secret passages and betrayals, hidden treasure, which always is a big plus point for me. And it almost feels that the characters are kind of always pushed forward. Now I like when these films do this, particularly because you don't have time to think about the film. You don't have time to look at the plot holes. You don't have the time to look at the fact that things don't quite make sense. We're just pushing the forward motion to build more action and keep the pacing up. Lex Barker again cuts this figure that we've seen before. He's charismatic, he's heroic, he's calm under pressure, and he can handle himself. He feels kind of believable in this world. It's almost like a precursor to, I'd say, Indiana Jones, where he is an academic but an adventurer as well. That's about where the similarities end, with our hidden Aztec treasure, I suppose. Yeah, the adventure feel of this one is probably the greatest appeal. It completely embraces the melodrama, the treasure hunt storyline, the romantic heroism, and the somewhat megalomaniacal villains. It just wants to entertain, and because it commits so fully to that, it does become entertaining. The visual style and the locations are great. They feel a little bit different from the previous movies. I have liked how we've went from the Old West, then we went into the Middle East, and now we're into Mexico. It has these different feelings about the film. So although the characters and the plot points can feel similar, it does change the locations, which freshens things a little bit. The villains, like I said, are broad. The kind of pantomime villain that, like I said, moustache twirling, you always know who these people are. You know, there's no surprise if there's any revelations within them. You know the kind of danger they're going to bring. You know exactly how they're going to get taken down, and there never feels like a great threat with the characters. But that seems to be something that's been systemic throughout all of these films.
Ich verbiete dir, Kaya wiederzusehen.
Lasst mich erklären, wir beide sind...
Versuche nicht, mich zu täuschen, weißer Mann. Deine Rede ist gespalten, wie die Zunge einer Schlange.
There is a mix of performances here. Some are theatrical, some are a little bit more nuanced, and some are leaning into the adventure films and what they should be delivering for this. It can be a little bit too simplistic as well. The storytelling is nothing out of the ordinary. It's something we've seen before. Something we've seen before many times in this set. There is certain cultural depictions, product of their time, and it's very earnest old school filmmaking. If you need realism or morally complex characters or a realistic storytelling, you're not going to find it here. But if you enjoy classic adventure cinema, if you've enjoyed some of the films in this set, it's another one just to get you over to the last film in the set. I enjoyed it. It's not my favourite of the set, and I feel myself getting a little bit burnt out on these films as I get closer to the end. I'm hoping that the final one is one that kind of just has that rousing effect on me, but I've got a funny feeling it's going to be more of the same. Let's dive into the disc and have a look at the extras. Here we are in disc 4 of the Adventure Calls set. We've got the films Treasure of the Aztecs and The Pyramid of the Sun God. And then, as usual, we have the Treasure of the Aztecs introduction by Sir Christopher Frayling. Again, wonderful, talking about a change into this kind of movie, how it was planned as a big 3-hour film and ultimately split into 2 parts. Next we have The Pyramid of the Sun God introduction by Sir Christopher Frayling, runs for 4 minutes 12 seconds, talking about how this was a straight continuation, was released a month after the previous film, and the kind of finality of the sort of Karl May adaptations. Then we have an interview with Bernhard Schmidt, archival interview with the co-editor of Karl May Verlag. This runs for 6 minutes 47, and he's such a stoic character. Although he's given some good information, I just felt like he was telling me off the entire time. And there is also trailers for the 2 movies as well. That's the extras for disc 4 of the Adventure Calls set. Treasure of the Aztecs was kind of fun. It was nice to get a location change after 3 films set in the kind of Middle East. It had that kind of pulpy, melodramatic, adventurous quality about it. Felt like a serialised adventure, which some of the best ones do within this box set. And really, nothing more to say. Watched it, saw it, probably going to forget about it pretty soon, but I would love to know what you thought of this one. Where do you think it lands within this set, and do you enjoy this different location that we've had from the previous settings? Let me know in the comment box below. As always, there is more content up here. You can see more of my stuff. In the description box are links to Patreon, membership program, and manvfilm.com, always, in which you can support me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.